Hi all, welcome to this West Brom team prediction video for FIFA 20. I feel West Brom are one of these teams that's going to see minor upgrades across the board, but then see a number of their players maybe potentially stay the same. But we'll get into this as always. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are for West Brom. Do they go higher, downgraded in some players? But we'll do our best for this one. It's going to be tricky for an individual players that are maybe, like, I would say namely they're younger talents, but it's going to be fun in games regardless. But if you smash like so, sub to the channel if you know me, follow me on Twitter, G's Legend. All the links are down below for posts on the channel and social media links as always. And obviously if any transfers potentially get confirmed, most notable I believe is the confirmation of Choose Pereira. I believe he's now a permanent signing, so he gold that's in the team. I believe now you can add, obviously rating wise, maybe say 78, 79 rated, so fair play to him. But with the team in general though, I think most of it's going to stay the same, apart for those that have kind of had good individual seasons within. So like Johnston may stay the same, but because he's been the number one goalie, he may do just enough to sneak up like an extra rating or two, just because of him being in net, being a big part of the reason why they went up, for keeping clean sheets and so forth. It's not a given obviously, but you've still got to at least speculate that nonetheless. But we'll see what happens from Hegazi, Gibbs. For them it's been like a mix of injuries, I believe. Game time hampered them a little bit, but they may do just enough to stay gold. From an SBC perspective, you'd like them to stay gold, so otherwise you're going to be finding West Brom's going to be like a Sheffield United this year, if honest. But that's where I would kind of hedge my bets towards. Bartley we've upgraded to, if we were to implement the usual rule of promoted teams going +3, then he would go a gold, he'd be a 5. But I was on the fence of it. I was like, do I upgrade him, do I not, to a gold? I think he'll go 74 at least, but he may do just enough to sneak as a 75 if I'm honest. It'll be one of the two, I think, if I'm honest. So if you're trying to do the Premiership and you need West Brom, that will help you a little bit. Ajayi may go gold because of the team of the season. He is worthy of at least a +3. His team of the season was 87 rated, whether that factors anything I'm not sure, but because he kind of came into the team and established himself at centre back rather nicely, I think he will at least be +3. +4 would not be past the realms of impossibility. It depends how they want to go about it, but he would be rare, I think, regardless anyway, due to that pace. Romain Sawyers I think will probably stay a silver, maybe 74, maybe 75 at a push. West Brom fans will let me know if he's, for what I've watched of West Brom this season, I think he'll stay a silver, but there is enough of him, enough in to maybe squeeze him to a gold if they decide to. And it also helps, as we said, from a League SBC view, if honest. So we'll see what that one plays out. Livermore I think will do just enough to go back to a gold. I always thought he was still, you always forget he got downgraded from a gold to a silver, so it would help immensely. I feel he is always just kind of been like a consistent midfielder. He does nothing fancy, he just goes about his business, and I feel that's what will help his cause of staying in. If at worst he'll go 74, but I think he'll go 75. Phillips I feel will do just enough to go 76 or 77. He's been like a gold the last few years now, and I think that will kind of be the case again next FIFA. As a whole, just injuries, game time and number of other variables, he'll probably stay a 71 silver, and that will probably be the case for a few others within this team. Hal Robson Canu scored quite a lot of goals for West Brom this season to help their promotion charge. and I feel at least a +3 will happen. If he goes higher, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would just I think it was 11. I think it was 10 or 11 goals he scored this season. If it had been a little bit more, I would have squeezed more, but I've tried to be balanced at the same time. Charlie Austin, +1 upgrade on him. A good number of goals this season. Discipline, yes, was out the window at times as well, but I feel he'll be receiving a minor upgrade just to help the cause for like league SBCs and so forth. The subs and reserves, as it were, depends who actually stays within the team, because you've got to remember they'll probably be looking to spend their money to kind of improve the team and their weaker elements, but also try and release some of the younger talent that's not necessarily going to get a game. So like Field and Harper, Oleko probably will stay around the same rating. If they be like looking at their stats, they weren't really getting too much game time. So I've just kind of like felt they would stay the same, kind of like same with Tulloch, and like Burke was on loan in Spain, didn't really do too much there, and I believe Burke has been under transfer speculation, possibly going back to Celtic, this time on permanent deal, not on loan. Grosicki, I think got injured before he joined from Hull. I think there was a half chance that he could have been a gold. It's easy to forget that he was a gold the last number of years, and obviously got downgraded to a silver, but if he can stay fit and get a good run of games in him, he would probably go back to being a gold in no time. O'Shea, Edwards probably stay the same as they are. Townsend, minor upgrade of 1, just mainly due to game time that helped his cause, and same for Furlong. These players kind of done just enough to kind of maybe merit upgrades. And obviously I think for players that are no longer part of the team, is like Chris Brunt, Gareth Barry, I think is it Grady Diangana, I think he was on loan. I think those kind of players, if like, and same for like Robinson, he was on loan to them as well. But and then obviously Matheus Pereira, we're saying he will probably likely get an upgrade of, I think, +2 or maybe even +3 at the very most. He will probably be their highest rated player, if I'm honest, within the team. And then obviously if they've managed to bag any other transfers, there could easily be a transfer that I may have missed, but it's also worth noting any of the younger talent that I've missed, if they do still have a card within the team, and as a result, if they get given a card to kind of work with in FIFA. It's like for example Fitzwater, obviously I believe he's on loan in Scotland, so I think it's Livingston if memory serves, so you won't obviously have those kind of players to deal with this FIFA, but there's quite a lot to kind of get your head round, and usually the promoted teams you've got to factor in immensely where the upgrades will happen, because obviously if they've had good individual seasons in the Championship, they sometimes merit an upgrade. But I think in West Brom's case, it's going to be minor upgrades for kind of like the key players that maybe done half decent, and then ones that have really stood out might do just enough to go in like gold or just shy of it, and then those that are being gold currently that are maybe not had as much game time as we would have thought might just do just enough to stay as they are, because they've not been convinced, there's maybe not enough conviction to upgrade them or even downgrade them, so keep them as they are. Plus if you've got 3, 4, say 7 gold players off the bat, and then if you potentially throw in a Ajayi, Bartley, Sawyers possibly as the other 3 silvers that go gold, then as a league SBC wise it could just be quite expensive still to do, but it's only because it might be like say 1,000 coins a player, and then one player might be 3k because of prices. But we'll see how it goes though. Let me know if we've kind of nailed this. I can speculate that a few people might think they should be a bit higher, which I wouldn't be surprised on. But I say we're just trying to be fair with balance and average and all that kind of stuff, like as we did with Leeds. But hopefully you find this useful as always, folks. Comment down below your thoughts on this, smash the like, always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, G is a legend, and I will catch you all later.